Hello friends, welcome to today's video. In this video I'm gonna show you how to validate ASP.NET MVC forms with data annotations. So let's get started with data annotations first, and let's see how to validate our forms. Let's move to the next slide. Why you need validation? Basically you need validation to validate your form errors, validation errors, and validation can be done using data annotations. And if a user enter invalid data in some inappropriate data, then it detects that errors and displays on our page, HTML page. And validation can be done at server side, not on a client side. Let's move to the next slide and let's talk about data annotations. What are data annotations? Data annotations are used to specify important properties to an input field, and there are a lot of properties, there are a lot of data annotation attributes are there, like required attribute, display attribute, and there are many other attributes as well. So we're gonna cover up those attributes in the code session. After this introduction, it specifies required attributes to an input field, as I said just now, and it also provides the error message attributes inside the required attribute, and it also specifies the display attribute to display the property names using display attribute. Let's code now. Let's switch on to the Visual Studio and let's create one model. In our model folder, I'm gonna create a model. New class, as model is a class, so let's take the model name as validate.cs. This would be the correct name for this model, as we are writing the validation logic. Let's write here prop. It's a short form to write a property. Write prop and hit double tap, 2 times tap. It gives you a property. It's an awesome feature of Visual Studio. Let's take the name, and I'm gonna give required attribute. As you can see here, it is not showing in the IntelliSense. The bulb is showing here, and it's a shortcut to add the using statement for required attribute. As you can see here, using system.componentModel.data annotations. So this is the using statement for required attributes. Inside this required attribute, we can add error messages. You can see here, this is a required field, and also we have another attribute called display name equals to your name. It displays this displayed attribute on HTML page. So let's take another property called mobile, and for this we have another data type, another validation data type called phone. Let's give this property name as mobile. This is also a required field, and let's take the error message for this. Let's copy down this and paste it here, and this is मम्मी जरा आवाज़ मत करो, खामोश बैठो. Let's take display attribute, name, your mobile number, let's take the data type for this, as this is the data type, so we need to take phone number. Here you can see that we can take the data type as phone number for the mobile numbers, for the contact numbers. It is also one feature of validation logic which we are writing. Let's take another property called string. Let's take this as email ID. Let's copy down these attributes, data annotations, paste it here. It's showing error here because I have to close curly braces here. Copy down this, paste it here. Instead of phone number, I'll take email address. You can see here in the data type data annotation, we can take email address, phone number, and we have different kind of data as well. You can see here from the starting we have credit card, currency, custom, and we have date and time, duration, email address, HTML. We have different properties, and even we are having data annotation property for password as well, and phone number, postal code, text, plain text, upload, time, URL, and lot more other features. So let's take this as email address. Let's save this file and let's move to the views folder and create in this detail folder, and let's create आवाज़ मत करो, खामोश, सो जा, खामोश. And let's take this as MVC View page. Let's call this view page as validate.cshtml. CSHTML is the extension of this file because Razor, we can use Razor inside this file. So let's code it here. Firstly, we're gonna access a model called validate, as we have created one model in the model folder. Models dot validate. So this is our model. Using this model, we're gonna access all those properties written inside this model class. So let's create a form here. ASP I would like to take ASP action validate. An ASP controller would be detail. So we forgot to write the action inside this controller for the view. Let's copy this sign up view, paste it down there above sign up. Change this action name as validate, and also this is for the get. If the user requests the form, the validation form, then this action will be executed because it's a get request. Now if user enters data, if user posts data through a form, then we have to take another action with the HTTP post attribute. So that is gonna be different action for the validate action. Copy down this sign up action and paste it here. Let's change this sign up name to validate. Let's change this validate class. As we are not using database, remove this fields. Name. What I am doing here is, when user posts some data through a form, it comes to this action. This action will be executed, and in this action I'm checking that user enters all the fields or not through this if statement. Model state dot is valid. Model state dot is valid. So if the user enters all the required fields, then I'm taking a view back property to store temporary data. This is the view back property, and inside this I'm storing that successfully registered message to display on our page. So let's design the view for this. Let's take a div tag. Let's take this as form horizontal. Inside this form horizontal, let's take one div tag. I am taking this form group and in this I am taking a label, class, control label, column sm2. I am taking this for I'm taking this column sm2 for the small devices, and also I forgot to take one attribute called ASP for its important property, as we are specifying that the label tag is only for a particular property called name of validate model, which we have in this folder, this one. So let's take another div tag and let's say column sm 10. Inside this I'm gonna take input field ASP for name, and beside this I'm gonna take span tag to display errors. This span tag will display your validation errors. This is the bootstrap class. These all are bootstrap classes: form control, control label, and this columns, form horizontal. These all are bootstrap classes. ASP validation for name. I forgot to take one div tag here. That is very important. ASP validation summary. That is for model only. So this is the first form group which we have created for the name. Let's copy down this and paste it here, and let's say this is for mobile. Yeah, our second property is mobile. Yes, so let's copy this mobile, paste it down here and here too. Let's say that the last property, that is for email, for that I'm creating another form group, and let's rename this mobile as email. Copy this email, paste it down here, and let's save this both files, and let's also save the action which we have written in the detail controller. And if the user enters all fields, I am doing one mistake here. Let's do it here. Let's cut it down. I forgot to close the div tag. Beside this or above this, I'm gonna paste it here, and I also want to print the message that if user enter all the fields, then I would like to view back. I would like to display the successful message here. View back dot message here, and you can show this view back message here. Save this application and let's run this application. It might take some time to get compiled and run on our browser. Till then I would like to show my personal blog, which is techgeekm.tech.blog. There I used to post all my updates on ASP.NET and ASP.NET Core regarding MVC and all stuff. My recent post was about viewback, view data, temp data and session in ASP.NET MVC, and I also upload the code which I was written in the Visual Studio Code Editor. You can see here. So this was the code and this was the view page, and also I have uploaded my video on this topic, and this is the introduction part to ASP.NET Core MVC for newbies, not for the intermediate or for the experienced one. So follow this blog to stay updated. Our application is running now, so just we need to give controller and the action name in the URL. Validate is our action name and our controller name is detail. So it is taking much time to compile. And if you want to get started with ASP.NET, this is the good site to start from scratch. As you can see here, you can download Visual Studio also and .NET Core. It's open source and it's a cross-platform to build your mobile web apps, modern web apps on all platforms. Our web page is ready. We can give our controller name and action name, that is validate. Let's run. Yeah, you can see here we are unable to see the name tag, and also we forgot to give the button tag here. Let's do it now. Let's give one button tag here. And let's take button default, and also the type of the button should be submit. Go here, as you can see here, I am not filling any fields, but still it is showing that this is required field. We are successfully getting that error, validation error, on our view using this span tag which I have shown earlier. This span tags, in this span tags we are displaying our errors. So we are doing this on a server side, not on a client side. So this is our model and this is our action. So we did it. Let's give some name as John. Mobile number, let's give mobile number as alphabets for example, and I think I haven't changed this name. in the model. Here you can see I have to give your email ID. Refresh this. Refresh this. Your mobile number still it is showing. Your name has goes to upside because I have given wrong div tag, so we can make it correct just by doing this. Run this. So let's give some another name. This is the mobile number. Let's give alphabets, and this one is the email ID, but still it is showing that mobile number, email. Let's run this application. Let's rerun this application because it is showing the previous results which is stored in the cache. I have rerun this application to get correct names on the view page. Mistakenly I have given wrong names to the properties in the model class, so it's better to rebuild this application, and inside this URL give the controller name and the action name. It might take some time as usual. You can see here your name, your mobile number and ID. Let's type this. Let's give alphabets in mobile number to see our validation logic is working or not, and let's give some dummy alphabets. Go here. Yeah, you can see here, please include an @ symbol in this email ID data annotation, because we have given email address as the data type, so it will not post this form to the controller action until we make it correct. So this is about the data annotation logics. All the fields are required, so you need to fill in order to post this form. So this is all about the validation and the data annotation attributes. Hope you enjoyed this video. Follow me on this blog, techgeekm.tech.blog. Please like and subscribe my channel. I'll see you in the next video.